So if you're watching this, you can probably tell I've relocated. If you're listening to this, I'll tell you I've relocated. So yeah, I'm in a new closet. I know I have a lot of explaining to do because I was gone for a week and now I'm just randomly in a new closet. I will say I feel like there's some irony recording this in this specific closet because this is my teenage bedroom closet. Um, and I am just such a different person to the person I was when I was in here. So it's very interesting. Um, but I'll give you the tea and what happened. It relates to what we're talking about today. So here's what happened. Um, I was picture this down on my luck, desperate, destitute. She was struggling. I was really I was wasn't gonna be able to pay my rent. No jobs were calling me back. Mentally, I was not having a good time. Emotionally, I was not having a good time. Like, I was just a wreck. And my final straw was I looked at my bank account literally last weekend. I looked at my bank account. I had come down here to visit and I was going back up to my college town. I looked at my bank account and I'm thinking, okay, I'm down to my last like 200 or something. No. I was down to my last $37 thanks to Jeff Bezos. Because I looked at my bank statements and I'm like, there's no way. Like, who has my card info and what are you stealing? Oh no. No. It was from Amazon. Amazon said, you rented a textbook from us. And allegedly, and by allegedly, I mean I absolutely did not turn it in. Because I rented it, didn't buy it. So they said, so we are going to take $200. I know that book was not worth $200. I didn't rent it for $200. So what do you mean? So I had to take my L. I cried a lot. And yeah, that day I was like, dude, I can't. Like I feel like something else happened. Oh, I got this dangly frog thing for my car. I think I explained it in the spiritual episode. It was like the day I got my tarot and like I was seeing frogs everywhere and like things were just happening. Well, I whipped my bag and I hit it as I'm putting my bag down and the frog charm breaks off. So like that happened. Like it was just one of those days where it's like something big happens and then all these other little small things happen and you're like, I need to take a nap because I like can't. So I was like, this has to be the storm before the calm because I cannot take much more. Well, it was. So a couple days prior, or like the day prior or something, my family and I had gone out to lunch for Father's Day, and my aunt was there, and she's starting her own business. Y'all will love this. It's life coaching. I have something to say. Hold on. Hold that thought. I have something to say. I am gonna eat my words a little bit. Num. But before I do that, so she was there. She was asking me about social media and all that because she knows that like that's where my expertise lies in. And then she was talking about starting a podcast and I said, oh, I have started a podcast. She's like, can you help me? And I said, yes. And then she said, do you want to work for me? And I said, double yes. So all that to say, I now work for her. But let me eat my words real quick before I forget. So life coaching, I take it back some of what I said. I understand it a bit more now, obviously, like going through her like materials and stuff. And I actually have been talking about it with my dad because he's done some of her like programs. And the way I see it is that it's a version of therapy, but it's a version of therapy for people who get more out of like experiential stuff. Who don't get a lot from just like sitting and talking and discussing. So I can understand that. However, I will stand my ground in my opinion that I don't think 20-something-year-olds can be life coaches. I just don't think that's true. I don't think that they've applied enough of values and like the mindset. I don't think they've had enough experience applying that. So I still don't believe that. But life coaching, I take it back. I can get behind it. I can see it. I can understand it. Anyways, so I lost my train of thought, guys. I woke up at 5 again today. I really tried it, and I got up, I exercised, and whatever, I did it. But my mind kind of feels like a blob. Like there's no actual like thoughts forming. I'm like really struggling. Anyways, so all that to say, she had said like, do you want to work for me? And I said yep. And so then I went back up to my college town. We had a meeting. We kind of just like talked everything out, what I would be doing, whatever. And then she's like, I want you down here though, so you can help me film and all that. And I said that works for me. So I basically packed up my stuff and left this weekend or last weekend. I don't even know what day it is. I left and now I'm here. I will tell you first the things I'm excited about, the things I'm not excited about being back home. The things I am excited about or happy about. I think it was time to close that chapter of my life in terms of like that environment, being in my college town. I learned a lot, I experienced a lot, both good and bad. But to be honest, I was getting bored. The show was running a little stale. I was unemployed and I was like struggling to find a job, and I wasn't even looking for like a legit big old job. I was literally looking for like something like at Panera to try and just pay my bills. So I was like, this last month of this chapter, not good. Not having a good time. So I was ready to close that book. Now some of the people in it, my roommates, my friends, no, that's the thing I'm not liking. I miss them so much. And I don't have a lot of friends here at home. So that's the thing I'm not excited about or a little bit nervous about, is making friends. Because I feel like as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot more socially awkward and anxious. So yeah, I'm a little nervy about making friends. Let's see. Other things I'm happy about, being with my dogs. I miss them so much. I love having my little dog is well, she's not little. She's actually incredibly big and she eats a lot. But my precious little pup is over here sleeping. Half of her body is laying out of the bed on the hardwood floor. I can't imagine that's comfortable, but to each their own. She's passed out, so she's fine. Let's see. Oh, long distance is over. I'm very pleased about that. Wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It was like mid-distance, but it felt like long distance. So my boyfriend and I are both very happy for that to be over, because that was a lot. Things I'm not happy about, obviously, like I said, making friends. I'm nervy about that. I think that might be it. I'm not too nervous or like weary about sharing a bathroom. Boo to sharing a bathroom. But happens. But all of this to say, big important thing I learned was embracing the seasons of change. So you can take that literally, you can take that metaphorically. I take it somewhat literally because this literally all happened on the summer solstice. So I thought the divine timing was quite interesting. So I'm taking it somewhat literally. But obviously I think more so it's just the idea of, like, for me, I did a lot more of fearing change than embracing it. And I think the biggest thing that this experience has taught me is at some point you just have to accept that life is what it is and you don't know anything really. And you could think that something's going to end up X, Y, and Z, and it ends up the total opposite. Like, you just really don't. Like, I would not have expected that this would be my next career move, but here we are. You know what I mean? So, it definitely taught me to embrace what's coming my way, even if it doesn't look the way I thought it would, more than fear it, because I definitely think I ran more than like accepted what was happening. I also think that embracing change and embracing the fact that like change will come, it reminds you that in the times where you are struggling, that isn't permanent. Like as we know, I'm really good at internalizing things. And so for me, it's really hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. And so this experience, because I felt so like panicked and defeated and didn't know what to do, this experience really was significant for me in the fact that, even something that felt as, even a time in my life that felt as like just what the fuck as that last month, 2 months felt, even that negative time isn't permanent. And I think that's embracing the seasons of change is that helps you remind yourself that, like, okay, I might be struggling now, but in a couple months from now that might not be the case, and so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. I also think that it gives you a constant goal, which I think is good to have, because what I started to notice, especially like the last couple of months, was, I won't lie, again, being unemployed, it was nice. Again, I hadn't been unemployed really like that since I was, I guess when quarantine happened, but beyond that, like, I'd been working since I was like 15, 16, so I was like, I've never experienced this before. So I won't lie, like, the first couple months, I was like, this is nice, this is fun. And then I just got really bored, and then I felt really just kind of like, I'm someone who likes to work, and it just felt weird to not have a goal to maintain. And so now that I've kind of registered that, like, things happen the way they do, it kind of always gives me that goal of, what do I want for the next chapter, for the new season, or like what do I want to work towards. And I like that idea. I think I like having that kind of constant motivator, at least for me. I think that definitely helps. And I think the other thing that this whole experience has taught me is, maybe not taught me, has I guess made me appreciate, is just kind of growth, like appreciate like the growing pains, and like that, life is a very individual experience, and whatever happens you probably can't predict, because again, I'm closing what I think is a very pivotal chapter of my life. Like, for me, I think this was even more pivotal than like adolescence and like puberty, because I think I learned a lot of really important things, and had experiences that, for better or for worse, shaped me into now. And I think just being able to accept, like, even the bad stuff, being able to accept that, okay, well, here's what I learned from it, here's how I grew from it, here's what I'll take with me, here's what I won't take with me. Like, I think even the bad experiences, the bad things that happened, you can look at and say, okay, but it taught me X, Y, and Z. It taught me, here's how I don't want to be treated by other people, or it taught me, like, here's how I don't want to work with other people, whatever that may be. So all this to say that I'm in a new season. She's in a new era. I don't know what that is yet. I'll keep y'all updated. But yeah, this will be the new closet setup unless something randomly changes again. Who knows? So hope y'all like it. I should be back officially. I'm gonna try not to disappear again. You know what was happening. Life was lifing. But that's all I got. Embrace those changes, embrace the new seasons, embrace the bad, embrace the good, learn from it, grow from it, be stronger. Ooh, look at my guns, y'all. if you're listening, I'm making like I'm flexing. I'm flexing. Ooh, okay. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else. I guess no. Follow me on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Rate the podcast if you liked it. Don't rate it if you didn't, because that's not nice. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube at Scared20something. Email me. I got a nice email from Eddie. Shout out Eddie. He hit on so many different topics. I was like, period. So email me. Keep it coming. I like listening. I like responding to your emails and learning things about you guys, and seeing what you relate to and what's different and all of that. So my email is scared20something@gmail.com. And I think that's it. Catch you on the next one. Bye.